Hello everyone, it's Margaret, and this is a reading vlog. We don't have much room for recording on the camera, so this is going to be a quick, short update because we need to get some stuff off the phone before we can record much more. But if you watched last week's reading vlog, you would know, well, if you watched the last reading vlog, like I'm not anywhere on time with these things. So, but you would know I spent most of yesterday reading Save the Cat. So we are starting today's writing session out with reading the chapter specifically that pertains to the kind of story that I am telling. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to try and work with what I've already got with the plot and the beat sheet and see if we can't figure some things out. I was figuring some things out at work as well, but I didn't write them down because I'm stupid. So I'm hoping my memory will get jogged a little bit. But I'm going to look at this. I'm probably going to look at Cat's 9-block structure a little bit just to kind of figure out what I'm doing, because I am definitely an outliner. I like my outlines. They help me figure out where I'm going. Sometimes I have to throw them out halfway through a book because another character takes hold of the plot and all of a sudden just things happen. But, you know, whatever. But we're going to make a good start of this because I'd like to have the outline done sometime this week so I can finish solidifying my world building in time for Camp NaNoWriMo. I think what we're going to do, I was going to try and have the entire 70,000 words written, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to actually just write the novel in 50,000 words and then expand upon that in the next draft, because I already know I add a heck a ton to my draft. I'm one of those people that I write the bare bones and then I add a ton of stuff to my draft. So I'm hoping that if I can keep it nice and concise in the first rough draft, then we won't have the huge issue of me having 140,000 words to cut down that actually end up being split into 2 books. I don't think that's going to happen with this plot, but the last project I was working on was supposed to be 1 book as well, and then it turned into 2 different stories. We have finished reading our pages for this thing. Save the Cat, that's what it is. Brain fart. And we've read about our genre. It took me a minute to figure out which exact genre that my book was, because this isn't your typical sci-fi fantasy. It goes by more story archetypes, and so it took me a minute to figure out, because the one I thought it wasn't, but then the one that I was maybe it's this one. It's like the books listed were Harry Potter and Divergent and Shadow and Bone, and I was okay, there we go, we're more in my range here for what we're trying to do. Although, it probably doesn't fit perfectly in any of those genres, but no novel really ever does, because that's what makes, or at least not the good ones, because that's what makes them interesting. So we have our tea, and we're gonna sit down and write in a minute. I am an American, and I'm a Southern woman, which means we ice our tea. Now, granted, I didn't like tea until about a year ago, so technically, I'm a Floridian, which means I'm not actually part of the South. In theory. But we was still on the wrong side of the Civil War, so. For those of you that are I hate tea, I don't like tea, I used to be one of you. Who was it? Oh, it was Jesse over. Jesse the Reader was talking about the fact that he likes coffee, not tea. I hated them both. Still don't like coffee, but I have found some teas that work for me. There are so many different teas that you kind of have to experiment. And sometimes you have to experiment a lot to figure out what you like. I figured out that I like more herbal, floral teas. I like a little bit of citrus taste in mine. I'm not really a big fan of straight up black tea. Now, this is because caffeine. This is passion tea mixed with some sort of black tea oolong. Probably saying that wrong. So, if you are intrigued by the idea of tea, but you haven't found one that you like, just keep trying. Keep trying different types. Just keep experimenting with different flavor categories, which I know that's more meta than anyone wants to get with their tea. But, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my friends at Starbucks who knew what I liked better than I did. Anyways, so I'm about to go start. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the beat sheet. I'm not going to use it necessarily to outline, but I'm going to use it to brainstorm plot points that can happen at specific points in the outline. And then I have a 10... Then I'm going to sit down and figure out what my outline actually is. Hopefully, in some way, shape, form, who knows. I will see you on the other side of this thing. Different angle, because I'm on the floor right now, because I'm about to get crafty, sort of. Not really. I'm not really going to be crafty, because I'm just not like that. I mean, I am. What am I saying? I craft things all the time. What the heck are you saying? Margaret's brain. All right, so hold on. We're on the floor for a reason, and that's because we're going to be on the floor working on plot stuff, because today's goal is to get an outline. But first, before we get into getting the outline and showing you what I'm going to be using, all of that jazz stuff, I don't know. Do I look like I know what I'm doing? If you thought I did, you have no idea who you're dealing with. Anyways, first, I have finished 2 books since we last talked. The first one was To Best the Boys, which, despite its flaws, I mean, there were a few places where I was just like, that's a little cringe. And there were some places that a lot of it is stuff I'm hoping will get tightened up in subsequent edits, because I'm sure that like they weren't done all of their edits when they're never done all of the edits when they send out arcs. So I'm hoping a lot of it is stuff that will get caught in like line edits and copy edits and that kind of stuff, because there was some formatting stuff which obviously with an arc you're gonna have. But oh my gosh, once we got past like the beginning of the book was a little kind of needed some help. Still needs some help, but like the moments we got with the main couple, I was just like, yes, feeding my soul, like right down to my aesthetic, like everything. I was just like, oh yes, I am being fed so well right now. I was. I'll insert the tweet that I made about some of the stuff the OTP did. But then the other one that I finished was Two Dark Reigns by Kendara Blake. I spent like, I would say about 70% of this book frustrated. Definitely the first half, like every time we got away from the people that I actually cared about, I was frustrated as heck. Like everyone around Katarina was being petty. I had zero interest in Jules's plot line. That just, I don't know why that plot line is in there. Like everything, once we got to where things were coming together, it got so much better. Like I'm sitting there, like once we got past the pettiness with Katarine, like Katarine was actually like, she was doing it. She was working it. I'm not rooting for her, but enjoying her sections. And then, like, it really, like, there were definitely places where I was just like, yes, I love, like, listen, you want to write a love interest. I love how she's writing Billy, because talk about a man who stands his woman. There was stuff that you're just sitting there, you're like, if you are not in Arsinoy's head, you know, she's like, you're going to be thinking she's crazy, but he still was like, yeah, I'm gonna stand behind you, and I'm gonna like help you achieve these crazy goals that I don't necessarily agree with, but you know what? You're going, I can't stop you, so I'm going with you. Like, yes, thank you. But like, so much of this I was just frustrated, especially at the end, and I just had zero interest. Zero interest in Jules's plotline. Like, there were like all of 30 seconds that I liked her plotline, and that's because it had to do with Arsinoy. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it, although I like was extremely frustrated by the end of it, because like I'm not entirely sure this book is justifiable. I feel like it could have been wrapped up in 3 books, and you just have a slightly longer book for the 3rd book. But I haven't read the 4th book yet, and so there are things that might happen in the 4th book that I might go, oh, okay, I understand now. So I'm giving it 4 stars right now, because I feel like this is one that I will, like, I did enjoy it. There were parts I highly enjoyed, and I thought it was, like, the story was well put together. I just wasn't interested in parts of it at all. But anyways, now we are going to take all of the brainstorming that I have been doing so far. Oh, my nose itches. I hate this. We're going to take all the brainstorming I've been doing so far, and we are going to make a plot. I think I've done this before. I don't know what I did with my notes for it, but I don't think I like how I did it, because I want to have a little bit more balance with my love interest's point of view than I do in my first book, because in my first book, he's not quite as, like, his point of view isn't quite as important in TQG as it's going to be in Ash Girl. So, but I'm gonna switch the camera and I'll show you what we're working with today. Okay, so I'm a visual person when it comes to plot lines. I like to be able to sit and post-it note it out. So we've got 2 Traveler's inserts that have all of my notes for the plot in it. I've got my trusty Sharpie pens somewhere. I've got Save the Cat. obviously we can't do this without Save the Cat, just in case I need to look something up. I have pink for my main character, which will make sense if you ever get to read this book, because it was the closest we had to her particular element. And then I have a yellow, which is not even the right color for my love interest element, but it was what we had. It was that or green, and green was also not the right color. And then the post-it notes would have been uneven in colors. We would not have had a full set left. Don't question it. I'm weird. I understand this. I'm looking around like you can see me. There's masking tape somewhere that I'm going to use to block this off into the 3 acts to kind of help me out here. But that's what we're starting out with, and that's what we're going to do. And hopefully we will have a plot. Starting to regret this whole 2 point of views thing, because if I hadn't have done that, I could just take what I've got here with my beat sheet, and I feel like that's enough of an outline, honestly. I don't know if that's just my brain trying to be lazy or if I actually have enough story. Anyways, we're gonna keep working, but I just felt like I needed to update you guys with the fact that outlining is frustrating. And I think especially because, like, so what the issue is with this one versus, like, my last one, which was it was straight through. I knew what the plot was. There's a lot in this, especially, like, I know the beginning, I know, like, the sequence that the ending needs to be. But there's a lot in the middle, especially this part right here, Act 2A, that you can't see because, here, I'll move my leg, right there. Starting with that pink one, all of that. I don't necessarily know what order those events are supposed to, like, I kind of have a vague idea of what events I want to have happen, but I don't necessarily know what order they're going to happen in. So, anyways, we're gonna go back to work. So I don't want to, like, give you the details, but hold on. Oh, squats hurt right now. Look, we have a plot. I know what's happening in this story. I know what I'm doing with this story. Oh, thank goodness. Like, that's been so stressful, not knowing what the heck is going on. This little, like, outlier right here is the prologue, because this story needs a prologue. It might also possibly need an epilogue, but I'm not sure. Like, the prologue is from a completely different point of view than my other 2 narrators, hence the reason that the prologue exists. Otherwise, there would not be a prologue. But it happens before the events of the story, and it's stuff that neither of my 2 narrators would know. So, there is that. I feel like that's pretty well balanced. Some of those little post-its might get split into more, like chapters. But I feel like, especially the pink ones, because those are my main characters, and so some of her stuff might end up being, like, especially like here, and there are a couple of, like, montage things that I'm like, I might need a couple of chapters for that. But all in all, I have a plot, guys. I know what's happening in this story. So happy with this. Just like, yes, finally, I know what's happening. I remembered what happened with the last time I tried to make a plot for this. I gave up halfway through because number one, I was trying to finish another book, and number two, I was like, I need more time before I start writing this book. So we're gonna move this to next year that we're gonna work on it, which is what we're doing now. Getting a little bit of a late start today, so you guys get to get an update while I'm eating my breakfast. Whoever is in the kitchen must be new, because that is not how you fold a burrito. I know, because I used to work there. It's Saturday. You didn't see me Friday because I didn't write Friday. I was going to. I did not. But I am going to get some writing done tonight, I think. So I need to get some work around the house done today. It's so good. Then I need to finish the Gilded Wolves before today's live show for Books with Friends. Because I'd like to actually, you know, finish the book before that goes up and actually be able to participate and chat with all my friends and everything. So we'll be there. And then once I finish the Gilded Wolves, so I've got probably about 2.5 hours worth of reading left. Once I finish that, we need to do some editing, and then tonight we're going to work on the book. We're going to work on, I think what's going to happen is we're going to work on the beat sheet. I think that is the main plan. So now that I've got kind of figured out what my beats are for each part of the plot, I'm going to like write them down. So instead of having it all on Post-its, just write down the order that I want things to happen in at the moment, and then I'll make a rough outline from that using my book in a month system that I've been using for years and has worked really well for me, phenomenally. It just helps focus the plot a lot. And I like the beat sheet because that helps you figure out what to put in how it helps you answer the questions that are going to be asked of me later, because there's so much in here that's not filled out. I think we're going to start a brand new one of these because this has several pages and I wrote in my Sharpie pen, so I can't erase anything. Also, more pages than I want to erase. Nah. But we're going to get this silly book done. We're going to have it ready to start writing in April. Originally, I was going to go for a 70,000 word draft, and I was going to try and start this week and next week, but I decided that I want to see if I can't just write the entire novel in 50,000 words, because I always have to add stuff anyways, so why not just try and start with a smaller number? We're going to try and finish. But we're going to try and finish the book from April 1st to April 30th. We'll see how well that works. It's only 1,600 words a day, and I have an outline, so I kind of know where things are supposed to fall. So I can technically go out of chronological order if I'm being bored with a spot. I might do what I've seen other people do and just write what happens in that chapter. And that'd be the word count for that chapter. We'll see. So, anyways, that's the plan for today. So our current reads right now are The Gilded Wolves and what's the other one? In the Afterlight by Alexander Bracken, and I'm loving both of them. Although, The Gilded Wolves is hilarious because there's so many things that I'm like, oh my gosh, if you switched Kaz with Severin right now, he would have had 6 heart attacks by now. He would be losing his crap. It's just so funny to compare the two because it is very similar, only Severin is maybe a little more human and a little more, just a little less of an asshole. I mean, he's still an asshole, but a little bit less. But, oh my gosh. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. And also, I'm loving In the Afterlight, which is really, it's heart-wrenching right now because of the things that have happened before and Ruby trying to kind of grapple with them. And having to deal with the fact that certain people don't trust her as much as they used to because she's done things. So, anyways, I guess that's the update for today. I'll talk to you when I've read more, finished a book, written some, I don't know. Hello, friends. It's 2:30, almost 2:30, so I have 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours till the live show, which should be interesting because Spencer just said he DNF'd the book at the halfway point. I am over halfway, and I'm actually really enjoying it, so it's going to be interesting to see why he DNF'd it. I have some theories, especially considering where he said he DNF'd it. It's not the best book I've ever read. It's not my favorite book I've ever read. But, that's a really high bar to hit, guys. So I am enjoying it. I like it. I also got a little bit further in the afterlight. No writing has gotten done so far because writing is happening this evening, but I am in bed in my unicorn hoodie because it's not quite as hot as my Wicked hoodie. And like, we're at that time of year where it's nice outside. Like, you could go outside in jeans and like a tank top and shorts and all of that. You could pull that if you were someone who is not me and always cold. But inside the house, because of the house, and our house is old and everything, it holds in the cold air. It's so frustrating. In the summer, it holds in the hot air. In the winter, it holds in the cold air. And so, yeah, it's a little chilly. But I'm going to settle down. I'm going to read. My allergies are going bonkers because I've been working with cleaning solutions and vacuuming and doing all of that stuff. So, like, allergies, they're the worst, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to go read this book, though, because I have not a lot of time to get through, like, 200 pages. It's, like, 8 o'clock now. We have finished a book. We have watched a live show. We are really close to the camera right now. That's better. My nose is trying to kill me, and there's dinner in the oven. So, there's that. Okay, hold on. Oh, get the book. So, this book. I won't say, like, it's funny, because I was watching the live show for Books with Friends, and, like, I couldn't necessarily disagree with them about a lot of what they were saying about it, because, honestly, there are places things could be improved. We definitely could get some more depth of the characters, and we could get some more depth of the world building, but at the same time, I think there is more world building than a lot of people are giving it credit for, especially since there were several instances where people would be talking about stuff and be like, where did that come from? And I'd be like, I could literally think of passages on, like, they were talking about Layla, and then, like talking about how she was forged, and I was like, there was, like, a whole page and a half. There was, like, a whole page on that, on what she was and what made her and why she was the way she was. Like, it's not that necessarily it wasn't there. It's just I don't think it was memorable. And I think that it could have been gone much deeper into and all of that. Anyways, the bottom line is I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I really liked the relationship between Severin and Lila, and there's, like, a love triangle that, love triangles. I hate it when they're there. But I didn't... Some people say that it's really similar to Six of Crows, and, like, I see the Six of Crows vibe, especially when we're talking about Severin, because, yeah, he is a very much like Kaz, very much. But I felt like he was the only one where a direct correlation could be brought, because, yes, his relationship with Layla is kind of like Kaz and Inej, but it's also not at all, and Layla is nothing like Inej, like. And I say this as the ultimate Inej stan. Probably not the ultimate, but, like, I love Inej with my whole heart. I love her so much. So, anyways, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was worth the read. I can understand why people don't like it, though. I can see that. I understand that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go edit videos for a little bit, hopefully sitting up. None of my outfit matches right now. I've got a black unicorn sweatshirt. I've got, like, floral leggings and Gryffindor socks. Don't ask me. Actually, no, I think it just says Seeker on it. Don't ask me. I don't care today. I just don't. My nose has been running all day. Ugh, it's just awful. I hate it when my nose runs. Anyways, so I'm gonna go work on editing for a little bit, and then I think I'm gonna sit down and, like, actually work on my book. But I want to get, like, an hour of editing out of the way. And then I'm going to sit down and try to work on the book. My head has been pounding because of this whole allergy sinus thing that's going on right now, for no apparent reason. So I am going to try to work on the book. I don't know how much work is actually going to get done, though. But we're going to sit down. We're going to try and work on it for at least a half an hour. Okay, so I'm realizing as I'm editing this writing blog, please ignore the construction noises, by the way, if you can hear them, because my neighbors have construction people at their house doing the patio or something. I don't know. There are bricks sitting in the front of their lawn ready to be put on to fix something. I don't know. It's annoying, though, because they're parked in my parking spot again. Like, they're continually doing construction on this house, and people always are parking in my parking spot. And, like, anyways, so that aside, I'm realizing that I did not wrap up this vlog. So, update on that. I decided to just go with my beat sheet and not worry about, like, what chapters are what, which is great because I've already cut a chapter, but, like, you know what? I just need to cut this chapter and put these two together. And so that's what's happened, because I'm writing it as of now as I'm filming this wrap-up. But for what happened with this vlog, I'm very happy with what I got my beat sheet done, I got my outline done, I had an idea of where my story is supposed to be going, which is great, fantastic. It's obviously still continuing and evolving, and then you'll notice that the next vlog you're going to see, you haven't seen it yet, but when you see it, it will be a reading vlog because I decided to take the final week of March off. Because I'm way behind on vlogs, and I didn't want to add another vlog when I didn't really have any plans to do much writing that week. I decided to take a break. And so the next one will be a reading vlog for Zoe's 24-hour readathon, but I definitely am in the middle of Camp NaNoWriMo right now. Obviously, as usual, madly trying to catch up because that's how I roll. I hope you are having success with your Camp NaNoWriMo if you're doing that, or any projects that you're working on. Let me know in the comments down below if you are doing Camp Nano, or if you're working on a video, a book, anything you're working on. Just put it down in the comments. I would love to hear what you're working on right now. Thank you so much for watching. All of my social media and stuff will be linked in the description box down below if you want to find more of me. That is it for now, my friends. Happy writing, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!